Finally tonight, we've got Ahmed Kiarostami. Ahmed has worked in cinema and the cinema and software industries for more than 20 years. After taking on leadership roles at Microsoft Middle East, he founded 3 companies in Iran and 2 companies in the United States, including Naga, the first multimedia and online production venue in Iran, where he published award-winning multimedia products in cinema and visual arts. His last company, Photomoto, was acquired in 2012, and he is now working on his next startup, Koantum. So, everybody, please welcome Ahmed.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. Thanks for staying out late. Koantum, at Koantum, we have several interactive science lessons for kids from kindergarten to 5th grade. The problem, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this, but you may know that the US is not that great when it comes to education from K to 12, especially in science. And it's not getting any better, even though they're doing a lot of things. And when you look at the problems, there are a lot of things, and you can see that this problem is even harder for regions with high poverty. And when you go to look at people with specific ethnicity background, they are dealing with these issues even more. And there are several studies that show that one of the things that can solve this problem is starting teaching science from earlier stage, from kindergarten or 1st grade. And then in the past few years, they've been talking about blended learning, which is a combination of online education with an instructor there. I have a 5-year-old kid. Back then, she was 3. After I sold my last company, and I was talking to another friend. Now she has a 4-year-old and a 7-year-old, and we were talking about this problem, and we thought we want to do something about it. Unfortunately, unlike Elon Musk, we didn't have enough money to create our own school for our children, so we started to look at that from a technical point of view to see what we can do, and we didn't know what we want to do. It wasn't a technical challenge. It was we didn't know what the best way to deal with this problem was. And for that, I looked at a tool that was very easy to develop and very easy to change. And Meteor 2 years ago was still very young, but I found it very, very compelling. And I thought it would be a great tool just to test. And as the idea matured, Meteor matured as well, and now we're using Meteor as our production platform, which is great. We have 4 different components. The admin dashboard, which is our dashboard, we design the lessons. We look at different things in the system. The teacher dashboard, student classroom, and lesson editor. That's something that we use to design our lessons. And I'm going to get that. Like I said, the challenge was not a very technical challenge, but how we would put these things together and how we could change it and test it with kids and get reaction and monitor what they're doing and all of that. I'm going to show you Koantum in real time. So this is our simple standard website. This is the dashboard that teachers see or parents see, that they can add their students or children, and they can see what the kids have done, how long it took to do one of the lessons, if they had any mistakes, challenges or not, all those things. Pretty standard. But in our classroom, this is when the kids log in, and we have because they usually know how to spell their name. You're talking about kindergartens and 1st grade. They don't know how to spell their name, but they don't know the concept of password. So we have this system for kids to log in, to choose the color that they want, the animal that they want to log in. And after they log in, I'm going to use this is what they see after they log in. I'm going to show you just one quick example of our lessons. Sorry, do we have sound?
We have 5 senses. We can see, hear, touch,
This is to
smell,
teach 5
and
senses
taste.
to kids.
The senses are important because they help us interact with the world around us.
What we
Touch
tried
the
to
kids
avoid
to
was
see how they
having
use their
long
senses.
videos or animations, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, because kids, they get bored. So we have very short little things, and then everything is interactive. For example, this
This
one.
boy loves his kitty. The kitty is soft and furry. Which sense organ is he using to feel the softness? Eyes, tongue, skin, nose, or ears?
So it's very simple, but we have tested with several kids, different kids. When they play with this, they don't need anybody. They can just sit there, start working with it, and they have a lot of fun. Actually, one of the best experiences that I had when I was doing this was testing it on my daughter. I was asking her to do something. I said, if you do it, you're going to get a gift. You're going to get a prize for me. I said, what is it? I said, what do you want it to be? I said, can I do another lesson of this? And that was the best thing. So this is an example. Each lesson comes in 5 sections, and it's based on a methodology called 5E that they use in NASA. But also Singapore, which is one of the best school systems in the world, is using it for elementary school. So we have adopted that, and we monitor everything that kids do here. And we see how long it took, where they had challenges, where they made mistakes, and all of that. And in our admin dashboard, and these are the schools. We just launched in closed beta, so we have a very limited number of users, 75 schools, 450 students. We're testing it. But you can see our users, you can see who's online, it's just me and my daughter online, but you can see who was online today, who was online yesterday. So we have all this information. And we have a lesson editor. I'm going to use a local copy because I don't want to mess with the server, but we have a local copy of a lesson editor. Everything is fully automated to design the interactive part. And Meteor was a great thing because with the JavaScript libraries that we have used, for example, all the graphics that you see, they are in SVG, so you can use it on a small tablet or big screen, and that's what they use in schools, that they projected on very high resolution screens. Graphic is great, sound is great, and we have developed the whole editor part. We just upload an SVG file, somebody designs all the interactions, and everything works great. So if you have any question, I would be happy to answer. Sure, yes?
Who's generating your lessons?
Who's generating our lessons? We have for the base, we're actually using Singapore's content, but but that's not interactive, they're books. We have a network of teachers. Actually, one in London, one in Canada, and several in America. We're using that, the network of teachers for designing our content, and then we have other steps. Any question? Yes?
Are you imagining students using like a desktop computer to interface with this, or like a tablet touch interface?
So the question is if we're imagining students using a desktop version of this or a tablet. It's actually different when you go to different schools based on the budget of they have. Some of them, even like rich schools for lower grades, they have one big screen, a projector. They don't have tablets for everybody. But as they go up, they have tablets or they have desktops. But the good thing about what we use is you can use it anywhere, from a small tablet to a big desktop to laptop, anything. And I have some videos that of live kids using it in action, but I don't think we have time in 10
We do
minutes.
have time for more questions if people have those.
Yes.
You talked briefly about animating SVG. What do you do for that?
Yeah. So everything that we do is in SVG, and then we have a sound file. SVG, we have different frames. And you can see in my editor, for example, this is the kid cat. These layers, these are different layers that we have in the SVG. So when we load the SVG, you have all the layers, and you have sub-layers. So we have a little...
Somebody is designing an Illustrator exporting?
Yes, so it's just an SVG file. We load the SVG, and we populate this automatically from the SVG file. And then you can...
These are SVG groups or something?
These are SVG groups, yes. Elements that you have, and elements within elements. And then we hide some of those. For example, this one, cat active, you can see that I'm going to make it visible, so you see it here. I hide it. And then we have some very simple things to trigger. When user clicks on it, we play an audio, we put all of our audio, we define all of our audios here. So we upload one audio file, and we define all the segments in the audio file.
More sophisticated things like transitions and stuff?
Every time. So we have all the animations. We have some of the standard animations there, And then for complicated animation, for some of the lessons, because it's only for that one lesson, we have a section that you go and define your animations only for this lesson, and we only load it for this specific lesson. And you can add a specific part of JavaScript that you use for this lesson, because we get more complicated lessons. For example, light and shadow, we want to make things bigger and smaller that you don't have everywhere. So we have small snippets of code that we use. Yeah. Thank you.
We've got time for one more question.
One more question. Yes?
Are you foreseeing teachers building their own lessons?
That's a very good question. The question is, are we foreseeing teachers building their own lessons? Yes. The way we're designing it this way is eventually you want to have a marketplace, basically. So teachers can come design, drag and drop, design their own lessons. And then if other teachers start using that, then they can release the lessons into the market, and other teachers would be able to use it. And if they use it, they get a cut from the revenue. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you very much.